You be a girl that I'm talking to.
Hi.
Perfect. Ready?
Oh my God, I got to introduce you to this guy. This is a new type of guy. And I understand what you guys mean by the Jews. This man right here with the big ponytail, the beard, and the young kid's clothes and the watch. He is a Jewish CEO in disguise as a young, cool kid. And these Jewish CEOs in disguise, well, what they do is they go out to LA and they find young goys to manage. This guy, and they're so good at it. This guy right here with the long hair, he's a poacher. What he does is he comes, what do they call those baseball guys? The scout. He's a scout. He came to LA when Logan was just doing Vine. So what he does, there's these Jews who do this. They sit online and they go, who could be the next big star? And this guy right here, I don't know his name. He saw Logan on Vine when Logan was first starting. Maybe you could find this part of the show where he starts talking about it.
And I did find the part where he talks about comedy.
Okay, but I want to tell people the story because this is happening everywhere. And he sees something in Logan Paul, and so what he does is he gets in disguise, goes to LA, and tells Logan Paul whatever he needs to say to get Logan Paul to, and I quote, shoot up like a rocket ship so that he could line his pockets. So he's the guy telling Logan, oh, yeah, you should do this, you should do that.
What keyword could I search to find the part you're talking about?
You could find, let me think, Vine. Type in the word Vine. These guys, they come and they poach these people that they think will be stars, and they're the ones in their ear going, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. But it's always a decision that makes them more money.
Like 1940, might
1940, and this is why we see so many assholes out there, because the managers and agents are the ones making these guys do all this crazy shit, and it's happening in comedy now too. Let's see if he starts talking about it here.
But it just wasn't my thing. So halfway through, when I had a case study, halfway through college, my case study was that, wow, people really like me on this Vine thing. Mm-hmm. Then I realized, okay, I think it's time to optimize and hold on, this cut off. I think it's time to optimize and do the best I can to make a really exciting life for myself. And then I met Manager Jeff, and
shout out Manager Jeff.
Manager Jeff is his name. Jeff Goldstein. And he'll say anything to get Logan to like, and it's all fake. It's like all bullshit. Watch this.
You say that point because in the U.S., the jock is the cool guy in school, right? So like,
now, this guy, okay, so look at this guy. See how he's wearing like a tee and he's got a beard in there? That's just because that's more, if he showed up in a suit and a yarmulke, they wouldn't want anything to do with it. So they disguise them. I'm not kidding. They disguise themselves as a young kid. It's like the manager of a band. Everybody knew that the manager of a band back in the day, you saw that show California Dreams. The manager of the band is always, oh, yeah, I'm one of you. Oh, yes. And they're always in their ear telling them to do the worst stuff. Listen to this guy.
Find somebody who's interested in being in acting, but also looks the part of a jock.
Yeah. Is that changing?
No,
it is. It totally is.
It's changing, but before it changed, it was always the UK and Australia because it's okay to be a thespian there, right? That was cool.
For sure.
Like yeah, so you see people who are the leading males usually coming from Australia and coming from the UK. So when I saw him and it was like, whoa, this is like Midwest. Blonde.
He goes, all the leading males usually came from, listen how sick this is. And they think this is just everyday business. He goes, all the leading males back when I met Logan were from Australia and the UK, and they were these handsome guys. And then I found this boy from the Midwest. Listen to this.
People who are the leading males usually coming from Australia and coming from the UK. So when I saw him and it was like, whoa, this is like Midwest. Blonde hair, blue eyes, axe, smart, sports, like...
You know what's fascinating to me, though?
You knew you had
we're good.
You knew you had yourself a money bag.
100% knew that this was going to be a rocket ship.
Right.
You knew. I gotta ask. Wait, you knew you had a money bag I knew this was going to be a rocket ship. There's something so sleazy. This is like human trafficking, by the way.
How could you trust?
Wait. Never speak over Hava.
I know, I'm so sorry. It's crazy that their egos are so big. Like, if someone was talking to me being like, you're a money bag, man,
I would say,
be like,
get out of my house
nasty.
now!
But these guys' egos are so big that they are like, oh,
I can't wait to be the bag of money for you.
It's like, be a bag of money for yourself, if
I'm
anything.
telling you, this is so wrong. And listen, don't blame the Jews. But they are all Jewish in disguise. Look at this guy. You forget, I even didn't really realize. I go, whoa, this guy, like, if he wasn't doing this, he'd be like an investment banker guy. Like, they don't give a fuck about content or jokes. They just, whatever they latch on to first.
And how could you ever trust that they're telling you something that's actually in your best interests?
They're not. They're not at all. They only have money interests in mind, and your best interest is, how. Well, they don't want you to screw up because they don't want you to screw up the money. So that's where it gets. You know
what's fascinating to me though?
You knew you had
We're good.
You knew you had yourself a money bag.
100% knew that this was going to be a rocket ship.
Right.
I gotta ask how, because I look at some of my old Vines and while they were like good, it was hard to project a future beyond Vine.
For you, because you never had done it, never had seen it.
Yeah.
But for me, being in the entertainment industry and seeing it before, it was like, okay, here's the next one. This just happens to be it.
I see.
Been in digital.
And for this to be in public, they're talking like this. This used to be behind closed doors. Maybe you cook up a scheme like this. They're openly talking about it, and their friends are like, yes, get that bag. Yes, manipulate the minds. It's insane.
You sign up for a girl's OnlyFans account, you don't really you don't know what you're gonna get.
Somebody-
it doesn't show. It
We're
doesn't show.
losing
you.
a lot of real ones to OnlyFans.
Somebody text me.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of dignity is going out the window this quarantine.
Somebody last night texted me a shot from OnlyFans, and I was like, wow, I did not know that you would be on looking on OnlyFans. He's like, of course.
One of your boys?
Not gonna say the name.
I have this fantasy where that Jew has assessed me as a problem, and they need to take me out. Like, he'll do it without...
seriously the vibe I get from him.
He'll do it without even consulting Logan. Like, he's like, we need to have a meeting. And Logan's like, should I come? He's like, no. And then he has a meeting with all these other guys, and he's like, we need to do something about Michael David. And you think you're going to convince me, you fucking rabbinical guy? Dressed
no, but
up?
he would do something so, like, he would do the best plan to defeat us,
exactly.
and there's nothing we would be able
This
to
is
do.
a wolf in sheep's clothing. This is Logan's manager. Again, another guy who saw what Logan was doing and weaseled his way into his life by complimenting Logan. That's really all you need to do. And now he's here. This is a 50-year-old guy. This is Saul Berenstein from Homeland. He's dyed his hair brown and put on a V-neck and a man bun, and Logan thinks he's just some hipster from Silver Lake. This is a suit. He works for the CIA. The Bloods and the Crips and the KKK. So don't trust this guy. He's already coming up with a plan to execute me.
Saul Berenstein is way nicer.
Yeah, he is.